Addie Carroll, Economic Development and Community Officer for City of Fairview.
Lisa Anderson, Mayor of Fairview.
Tom Doherty, City Manager at Fairview.
Dylan Gasper, Management Fellow with the City of Franklin.
Eric Stuckey, Franklin City Administrator.
Nathan Zuckerman, Economic Development Team, Williamson.
Alternate Development Team, I do a small business initiative.
Tony Tolstead, I'm the Assistant City Administrator for the City of Spring Hill, 1 of 2.
I'm Annalisa Roberts from the Economic Development Team. What is your name?
Ken Moore, you met, go back to the bottom.
I'm Barb Sturgeon, Commissioner, District 8.
Detroit Church, Commissioner, County Commissioner, District 7.
We've had minutes. I think that we're supposed to approve those minutes. Is that correct? So I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion, questions, amendments, alterations? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. And so Kel, I'll hand it back over to you to go around for community report.
Yeah, absolutely. The community reports, is kind of the norm as we go here, as we have representation from our various communities. Oftentimes we'll go in alphabetical order. So today that's actually Fairview. So Mayor and Tom, what should we know? What are you excited about? What's going on in Fairview, especially up now through Q3?
We'll begin each other.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on in Fairview, especially for, we're not seeing unprecedented things that Fairview's seeing. And I know we'll probably lean on you guys a lot for some of that. A lot of residential, commercial, starting in the infancy for city facilities. A lot of road work, just, it's always something. Have that busy time.
We're excited that we have, Laystar, which is, a company that, was gonna go to Hickman County, kind of met them at the water board meeting and, kind of flipped them away from Hickman County, brought them to Fairview, which we're so excited about. We have a, mechatronics program, and they do that type of industry for the Department of Defense. And so, just really excited for our kids, our kids who are in the, program at school. They will be able, there's about 25, 30 jobs available. And also they will also be able to do their intern hours that are required, where normally they were having to go to like Saturn out in Spring Hill. Well, not Saturn anymore. I call it Saturn GM, I guess, out in Spring Hill. And then, some of the companies out maybe in Smyrna and Nissan, stuff like that. And now they can stay in Fairview and do their intern hours, which is amazing. Plus, they can stay in our community and work there right out of this program. And they get their associate's degree while they're in high school in the program. And so we're excited for Laystar. That's one of our big, we've got Sherman Williams, they're a new business. We've got a strip mall that's gonna have businesses and restaurants. So we've got developments, our city center that is a transition from restaurants and retail up front to townhomes to single family homes. We've got new trailheads to our big 700 acre nature park from some of these developments. So, I mean, we've just got a lot going on right now. So it's very exciting.
No kidding. And I know that it's going to be a lot of material on the table for when we co-host the inaugural Fairview annual address in September as well. So that's really cool. Super cool. Tom, anything to add on to there?
Just never know.
I believe it. Going down the alphabet, Franklin, Eric, Mayor, Dylan, what's up?
Well, lots up and lots gonna come back. Right in the throes of continuing to progress through building a new city hall. We had a special board meeting last night where we looked at some of the brick selections and also looked at some of the elements of the park. Church Street style of the building. So this is pretty exciting, since we have a timeline and we hope to maybe approve a construction manager at risk tonight at our board meeting. And we're looking to tear down the current city hall sometime next year, maybe spring, maybe early summer. And then looking to move into the new city hall in June of 27, we hope. The other thing on the board tonight is making arrangements for us to move somewhere. So we'll be moving our offices. Several buildings are on Columbia, primarily First Bank buildings, where we will set up shop until we're done. So that's pretty exciting, and other road projects and so on that are coming along. But I think the main thing is all of us are experiencing a lot of growth, and I think Eric maybe comment a little bit about growth and how we plan for growth for 20 to 30 years. We've been growing at a rapid pace for that long, about 2,000 people a year, or about 20,000 people a decade. Certainly the percentage of growth now is less than it was 20 years ago, but we're continuing to have plan long range. So I'd invite Eric to maybe talk some about some of those plans.
Yeah, so that's actually a dialogue we're having in the community pretty extensively right now, as we look at the need to make some key infrastructure investments. We've just completed in the last year the expansion of our existing water reclamation wastewater plant at its existing site. We've expanded and enhanced the technology there, but we're looking at the next stage. And that's been the nature of the dialogue, is there's a perception that we're growing faster than we ever. And that might be true as a region, but Franklin has grown at the exact same pace since the mid-80s for 40 years. Like the mayor said, about 20,000 a decade, 20 to 22,000 a decade. And that's what we're projected out over the next 20. But to meet that, and to continue to do that successfully, you've got to put land infrastructure in at the right time. And for us, wastewater is really that foundational piece. And we've got about 10 years of capacity in what we've just completed looking forward. And so if we continue that pace, then we're looking at what that next phase is. We have a site already identified in the southeast, and we're looking at the specific timing and size of that initial phase of the site, which would probably have additional 2 or 3 more phases after that, as we look at 40 or 50 year out. So it's really charting that path forward and doing that in a timely, cost-efficient manner, even though those costs continue to escalate. We're having a pretty extensive dialogue around where we are with impact fees. We have a pretty developed impact fee structure around roads, water and sewer, parks, which the county's got the education side for schools. And so we're looking at those being, right sized relative to the cost of infrastructure. And we're updating roads right now. We did a partial update on wastewater, but that will be driven by the decision the board makes, hopefully by the end of this year, around that sound plan, size and timing on that, which again is probably 10 years out. But that 10 years goes fast. When you look at permitting and design and construction, we'll be there before we know it. We want to make sure we're planning to do that effectively, to continue that steady, well-managed growth, which is so that is an ongoing source of real focus, because the board has had a policy or an approach that says, development is great, but development should help pay its way. And with infrastructure, we've really made a very serious commitment to that with our impact fees, and to keep those meaningful, you got to keep them updated, because it doesn't cost the same amount to build a road now as it will 10 years from now, or it did 10 years ago. We've got to keep that fresh and in line with where costs are, so that we're getting, a meaningful contribution when development comes forward. So that's really a big focus for us. We'll be driving some decisions around those fees, but more importantly, that infrastructure and that timing. So that's really our big focus going forward. Some fun news, exciting news. Fortune magazine named us one of the top 10 places in America to live just in the last few weeks. We were number 6, which is exciting. I was a little ticked off with the Ann Arbor, Michigan, yes. So, we got something to work on there, an Ohio boy. I'm a little mad. So that's our, thank you.
Tremendous. Thank you so much, Eric. And we just had Mayor Rogers Anderson join us as well. And I realized I did not throw it to the folks virtually online to introduce themselves, but we'll go one by one as we do community updates at the moment. I see we've got Victor on the line. Victor, how are things going over in Nolensville?
Hey, folks, things are going pretty well in Nolensville. We have, just like all across the county, a lot of good things that are taking shape. A couple of things I wanted to mention today, our Publix development that we have been really working on really for about 2.5 years has finally broken ground. They are anticipating about a 15-month construction time frame. So we're thinking about 18 months before sales start happening. So that would probably be around the December of 25 mark, something like that. We're very excited about that. That total, it's all being built in one phase. And so we're looking at about a 90,000 square feet of retail that's being developed right there in that corner. We're very excited about it. And then also another project that we have recently entitled called the Nolensville Town Square Project by Land Innovations. It's got another 70,000 square feet of commercial. It's a smaller commercial, more of the mom and pop style homes than rather big box. And then also contains about 400 multifamily, so that's townhomes and apartments inside it. They're telling us that they're planning on breaking ground in October. And that will be over 4 phases. So it'll take a little while before all of that gets built out, but that will be our first parking garage. So one of the things that we asked them to do to just mitigate having a sea of parking in those areas is try to develop it with a parking garage. We gave them some density bonuses in order to be able to do and afford that inside their development. And we're very excited about that one coming online as well. And then lastly, we'll be issuing an RFQ for the engineering for a new police department. So we've got our fire department constructed and I would say already filled. The bays aren't filled, but amazingly they've run out of storage space. Imagine that, fire department's running out of storage space. So another man's treasure is another man's clutter. That's what I've been telling them. Nonetheless, there will be an open house coming up for that, and I've just lost the date. I think it is September. It's either September or October 5th, one of the two. And if you guys want to come out, we'd love to have you there. But we've got an RFQ that's coming out for the engineering services for the police department, which we're expecting to be on Sunset Road, and we're very excited about it as well. Sorry I couldn't be with you there in person today.
Now, thanks for joining us online, and congrats also, on the fire station. I saw Chief Windrow, and I'll take advantage of that open house because I know this isn't the kind of thing I just want to crash and show up, so to speak, over to fire station. So absolutely. Thank you so much, Victor.
Thanks.
I see we've got Mayor Hageman on the line, and we've got a few folks from Spring Hill. Mayor Hageman, I'll throw it your way first, but if anybody else from Team Spring Hill has anything to add, we certainly appreciate that as well.
Thanks, Kel. Yeah, so Team Spring Hill, Tony, I see you're there. Actually, we do got a couple people there. So Tony, people can see you better than they can see a video. So go ahead and take it. Just please don't forget to one up Nolensville that we have our fire station dirt in the shovel in the dirt. And that's our 4th one we're doing, and the 5th one is in the pipeline and the planning stages. So Tony, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we have a handful of things, as the mayor pointed out. We do have Fire Station 4 having broken ground the other day. It was very warm, so I wish they would have had the water running, but other than that, yeah, we had a really great groundbreaking for that. Looking forward to that. I especially look forward to the fact that it's like 300 yards from my house. Response time being what it is, but that is going to help us really improve our response time to that region and address some of that growth that we've had, and so we make sure that we're providing good service in a short amount of time. A big shout out to the people who've been involved with that, the administration, the BOMA, and Chief Temple, who has been just absolutely great to work with on that project. So that is one thing. Of course, we got the I-65 June Lake interchange that opened, the diverging diamond, which is also by my house, and I really like it. When I come home no, so that opened, we had a really great opening for that. And we've had, you know, a lot of people getting to use that new access, but it is, it very much so is an improvement to our community and that area as it continues to develop. So, and we're of course widening on Buckner, right, as you get off of that. So we're through the first part of that widening, or we shouldn't say we're through it. We're working on the first part of that widening and continuing to do that, and that'll be a 2-phase. This is a significant artery through town.
What's the tunnel on the highway Finland?
I do not know. Jim, do we have a timeline of the IV at all? I don't.
No.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I could probably follow up. And and of course, our PD headquarters is also, I mean, like the mayor says, our PD headquarters is all going to quit with that starting to open this year. We've done some tours of that. We have another one, I think, next week, actually, to see the progress on that. It's quite a facility. It's going to take us a long time into the future. It's a really great improvement for our community. We've had a number of community events, you know, we had Hill Fest that came up, that was done by Parks and Recreation, Public Events, and National Night Out. It's just the other day, had a pretty good turnout for that with our law enforcement friends. Experience Spring Hill, a little shout out to back in the chamber for the great job they did. We took part in that, and that is always, this is our second year of doing it since I've been here, and it gets better every year. So they just really put on a great event. We're really happy to be part of that. They gave us a little side hallway, and that's a lot of fun.
I'm here for 4,000 people.
Yeah, it was really well attended. And then we have camping in the park coming up. We've done some renovations on City Hall recently with our corporate. If you've been in our Bowman chambers, now we've gutted all the seats out of it. There's new everything in it, and but now it's highly modular, so we can use it for meeting rooms like this and the like. And that's just as we grow. We all know we need the space in the facilities. We're meeting the same challenges everybody else is. So that's something that was just recent that has really been done really well. We're working on the entitlement program for CDBG for the first time. We got over that 50,000 mark. So now we have entitlement funds. Our new A2CA, Ishmael, I'll bring him next time, is working on that. He was able to present that to the BOMA. And so we're working through that, and that's gonna have a full plan. And I look forward to talking a little bit more about that as it gets fully flushed out and approved, but we're gonna be happy to start providing that. The city did purchase some parkland on Burke Road, and we have an RFQ on the street right now for development of that parkland. So that just hit, I think, you know, end of last week. So looking at how we're going to expand those quality of life items, we're really looking forward to that process. There's going to be a great deal of public engagement, so look forward to anybody who has the opportunity to take part. The other thing we did is we completed the citizen academy, our comms department did, and I think it was our first time out. They did a really good job, and we got it filled up pretty quick, and we added more people. And I think in 4 days, we got more than half of it. Within 4 days of being open, we got more than half of it filled right now, and probably more at this point. We're doing that in September. Last time, I wasn't able to be here last time, but Jim did a good job of reporting on our safer grants, and we got 15 firemen. It's kind of interesting because we got the 15 firemen and they graduate next week. So we're really excited. And for the record, our firefighter basketball team beat the Columbia basketball team on Saturday.
Yeah.
The score, the note. Yeah. How about this? It beat the spread. But there's a number of other things, and Jim has a lot of them. want to take anything from his. We continue to work on some of our internal, processes and systems and invest in some of our technology. Right before here, I was working on some of our we're meeting with the group on our new HRIS system options. And so we're moving that along as fast as we can, but trying to keep it really stable. I'd happily turn it over to either Mayor Hageman or Jim, please.
Just a couple others. Legacy one is underway. Major way. They're turning a lot of dirt to put in the infrastructure. We're here. Micro businesses are alive and well. 1 to 25 employees. So we're developing programs and very interested in what we're doing. So we can mirror some of the projects.
Nice. Well, yeah, just apparently nothing's going on in Spring Hill. I mean, nothing at all, right? Absolutely. Mayor, I'm going to throw it over to you here in a moment. I know Becca's got a hard time out. Becca, is there anything you want to add before you have to step off the call?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Real quick, thank you again for the updates, Tony. Really appreciate the effort City put into the Experience Spring Hill event. It's just such great information to be able to share out. So thank you for that. Our monthly luncheon would be something to note to this group for sure. It's going to be the plant managers from both GM and Ultium, so our two largest employers in the area, talking about their plants, talking about the relationships that they have together for the whole EV production, and just talking about the market right now and the adoption of the EV and how they're adapting to that right now. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about that happening next Thursday at 11:30 at the Union Hall. So thanks again.
That's a great heads up. Thank you, Becca. And Becca's with the Spring Hill Chamber, just in case, yeah, we were unclear on that. Mayor Hageman, anything you want to finish up with on the Spring Hill end?
Yeah, I just want to thank our amazing staff members, Jim Hellier and Tony Tolstaff, for giving the brief, and Becca, thanks for coming in as well. Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce, they're outstanding. Their membership continues to grow, which is indicative of Spring Hill's growth and economic development. So thank you for that. Thank you, Kel, for hosting this, and your team as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. So we've gotten through the community updates portion. Mayor Anderson, anything off the top that, on the county end of things that we should be attuned to?
Let me say 2 things. First of all, I apologize for being late for County, another event. But thanks to all of the mayor, city manager, those that were on the urban growth boundaries, that's completed, it's been voted on, it's been sent to the local planning. We should have something back on that next 30 days, we hope. So that is a endeavor that took a better part of 2.5 years, but at the end, it all got back to Baker City. The other thing that I want to bring to the attention of the mayors, of the city manager, that if you'll remember about this time last year, maybe slightly before, TDOT came out with a program looking to fulfill their obligation of the force lines. And this group, through this efforts of ECD, all the mayors signed off on the I-65 corridor, OHC, to the Murray County line, with the emphasis on Morris Lane and the 840 interchange. If you were doing a drone, you went up, you would see those large lanes, 4 lanes, 5 lanes, they all bundled into 2, except for Morris Lane, there's very much not here. So that's a real bottleneck. So we emphasize that to a letter to Commissioner Ely, which everyone signed off on. About first part of this month, TDOT sent out another letter, and they're opening that back up for the second phase. As you will remember, last year's funding, we did not get any of that money, which was very severe to Franklin and just as severe to. So they've opened this up again. I will be sending another letter to them end of this month, it's the cutoff date is 28th. We'll be resubmitting that same format, that juice it up a little bit more, not take it away from your city projects. That's not the purpose of those funds, as all of you know. But we've also met with, the MPO and GNRC behind the scenes trying to address that 20+ mile corridor, fitting in some spots to improve the traffic flow down 65 and to our neighboring cities and counties, on each side. So for you that are here, the mayors, and if you would relay back, I'll be reaching back out to you to sign it once again, if you don't mind, so that we can emphasize to them the importance of the I-65 corridor. There was, Ken, help me out here, there was $1.5 billion that went to each brand division.
No, it was 3 billion total that went to the 4 brand division.
Yeah, they broke it up. So we're hoping to get a slice of that so that we can put a road making that priority in the years to come, for 5 to 10 years out. So don't leave here thinking you're gonna see any major changes on the interstate, but we've got to get ourselves in a position here. So I would appreciate your support when we get that.
Appreciate that, Mayor. Thank you. And while we're on the transportation of Stanton, anything on the TMA group end, assuming are, yeah, okay, good. Okay, I figured.
You know, I think the most interesting thing that's happening is we just came back from Denver, where we attend a annual meeting, organization called ACT, Association of Community Transportation. There was in Denver, and it's always neat to go to Denver, and they're pretty much always on top of things. And similar that we were able to spend time with those folks in Denver that kind of oversee the city for Department of Transportation. But they generally do more of an emphasis on transportation demand management, which is more of a holistic look of planning, design, developments, infrastructure, transit, city together for mobility, community issues, transit issues, walking, biking. You know, most people know us for van pooling and for transit. About 40% is all about transportation management and work with employers and cities and different organizations that have some sort of mobility issue. And so it was a great time in Denver, and we had about 700 attendees. Majority are from the United States, some are overseas, transportation, demand management, transit agency, different cities throughout the United States. It's a good, days, a lot of fun. At the same time, we were able to spend a good amount of time with TDOT. Folks are kind of putting their TDN statewide program together, and TMA Nashville was there, and we got to work on projects. And a good amount of time that we could talk about, something we talked about the press lanes and how we can be involved in the employers.
Yeah, golly, wow. Thanks for joining us, especially on the heels of the travel and everything else too. Absolutely. I saw Dr. Lampley on the line. Dr. Lampley, anything we should know about from the Columbia State end?
Good afternoon. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. At Columbia State, we're going to start classes August the 26th. So we're in the short rows of getting everybody lined up. Enrollment currently looks like we're up about 12 to 13% from last year. Dual enrollment is still one of the hottest items that we have. It's about 22% of our overall student population. This campus will probably serve 850 to 900 dual enrollment students in Williamson County. That's about all I've done for the last couple of days is help those students get everything lined up. We do have a new building going up in Columbia that should impact some of the workforce for Williamson. The South Central Regional Technology Center will be a collaboration with TCAT Cornwall, TCAT Pulaski, and Columbia State. We'll move the allied health programs that we have on the Columbia campus into that building, along with mechatronics. The TCATs will provide programs such as welding, HVAC, automotive repair, and so forth. Groundbreaking for that is August 28th. Other than that, Mayor Moore has put together a mental health symposium that's going to be held on campus October the 25th.
I like that lead in, Dr. Lampley. I'd love to speak just about it if I could, just a second. You know, our community was recognized by Governor Haslam as one of the healthy communities in Tennessee, and to get that designation, we had to do a number of things. And we had to develop a health plan for our community and address, we decided to address tobacco cessation, obesity, activity, and mental health. And out of that group, it was easy to do all of, I say not easy, but it was more difficult to do mental health. So we spun off a group called Find Hope Franklin. It's been working since the pandemic to address suicide in our community, training our community in suicide prevention, so-called question, persuade, refer, QPR, raising awareness of mental health. It's okay to talk about it. And also work closely with a number of groups as far as addressing potentially a crisis stabilization unit in our community. We recently retooled a little bit, didn't change anything, but added, and one of the things we wanted to add, community event where we focused on mental health in our community, particularly youth mental health. Bill Frist is going to come speak. He'll be the kickoff speaker that day. Then we have 3 different panels. We have a panel that will address statistics in our community as far as hospital, police, health department, and so on, and talk about those issues. The next panel will talk about, focus particularly on youth mental health and focus on those things that parents should be looking for. They'll be talking about the influence of social media, so on and so forth. And then the last panel will be actually a relief panel where we'll try to show that there is hope in this situation. We also have Stephen Lloyd, who's the head of the Opioid Abatement Council, who'll come and speak after the noon hour lunch. So it is a free event. It is open to anybody who can. Attendance is limited because Daryl didn't feel the auditorium big enough for us. But we're honored. We're honored to be able to be there. We'll branch out to classrooms, and the attendees will get to visualize what the students get to visualize every single day. So I hope that's a help to them. So feel free to register and tell your friends about it if they have interest in mental health and their family and children, and go from there. You can go to Find Hope Franklin website, or you can contact Lindsay Wilhelm.
We've also posted a link on the city's Facebook page promoting it, and then you just click on there and you can register through Eventbrite or whatever one of the online services.
Yeah.
What is the date again?
October 25th, 9 to 3.
That's great. I appreciate you mentioning that, Dr. Lampley, and similarly walking us through that too, Mayor Moore.
No problem. That's my report.
Tremendous. Thank you, Dr. Lampley. Before I throw it over to the Williamson Inc. team, Bob, I didn't get to say hi to you on the way, and so thank you so much for joining us today. Any updates on your end? You're our Greenbelt representative, but yeah, any updates to share with the room?
No, we're just thankful. This is a perfect example. Moving in from California, natives, they say, yet the land is in farming. 2 buildings full of automobile. It is still a farm. That's what we have to.
That's really cool. And I just love the absolute nature of that story. That's exactly right too. Very cool. Thank you, Bob. Starting with Matt and Nathan, I know we have a few updates organizationally on our end. Would you like to share?
Yeah, just a few things. And again, thank you all for being here today. I just wanted to mention a couple of projects that we are working, I guess still working. One is certainly Waystar. We're excited about that. We all connected yet today, but they're in the process of signing their contract. So that's great news, which the next thing would then be an announcement.
They're on our board of commissioner meeting on Thursday night for.
That's great. So that's a big deal. That's great. So those wheels are moving. And the other one that you may have a bit, there's an article in the National Business Journal a few weeks ago about True Green. They talked about not moving their HQ from Memphis to Franklin. There's not a lot of details out yet. I don't know that the state will actually do an announcement. That the announcement could be in the form of that MBJ article, but that is a real project. It will be north of 150 jobs, 175 jobs, I think, and the average salaries last I read were 150 plus. So they're great jobs. More details hopefully forthcoming, but having that article get out before the state, I don't know if the state will actually do that.
And for taking vacant space. And taking 4,000.
So that's a really good job. That's a great. And then I also wanted to mention, and then I'll.
Nathan, on that, they're not going to headquarters, but it's their executive leadership. That will be,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So it sort of looks like,
Not headquarters.
yeah.
Okay. That's all right. So whatever they want to call it.
They can call it,
We're just very good job.
that kind of, I think,
I wanted to mention too, that's kind of neat. So we talk a lot about in our team about our team being focused on being not just engaged in the work, but being engaged in the community. And so just a couple updates in that regard. I wanted to mention Kel earlier this summer graduated from Leadership Middle Tennessee. Matt has been accepted to Leadership Tennessee, which I think starts this weekend. Flavia Swazwa on our team is not here today because she is at the kickoff for Leadership Franklin. And then Jenna Potter, who you know on our team, is in the upcoming class of leadership room. So that's all happening. I'm really proud of our team for engaging in that way over this year. Matt, anything to this?
One quick plug, a week from Friday, also at Columbia State, we are hosting the monthly edition of Policy Talks, and that'll be led by BNA CEO Doug Crulin, and a panel of his team there as well. And we're really excited about that. Just different kind of conversation, different kind of update we're able to provide there. And what's going on at the airport is always of interest to folks. So really excited to have that. So keep an eye on that, and hopefully you can join us that Friday morning. I believe it's the 23rd. Unless anyone has any of the updates or anything to share, I'd like to throw it back to our chair to see about a motion to adjourn.
Wait, one thing, Kel, holy congratulations on LMT. Good on you.
Hey, thank you so much, Mayor. I appreciate that.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Any other business come before the group? We certainly welcome the commissioners here today. If not, I entertain a motion to adjourn. Is that a second? All in favor, say aye. Thanks for being here.